So today we are going to assemble a custom C-clamp. Now, when I first designed this C-clamp, it started life as any other C-clamp out there as far as design goes. It originally started out as a one-piece billet body, aluminum. It was going to be super elaborate, but after getting quotes on material, machining time, everything involved, I was like, I got to simplify this a little bit. So this is the simple version, twin frame rail, bolts together, and in the end, it worked amazing for what I needed to use it for. So let's get after it, start building. So one of the first things we're gonna do is go ahead and cut the raw material for the lower foot on the bandsaw. And as far as material goes, I'm using some 6061 1-inch square bar that I had laying around. Now, I actually filmed this before I had my cold saw set up in the shop. So for this, I'm using my vertical bandsaw. It does have a traveling table. So for items like this, it makes pretty short work of it. I did use some beeswax on the blade before this, but this blade is towards the end of its life. This is pretty much the last cut that it's gonna make, at least the last few in this video. So with the raw material cut, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Kurt vise brushed off, all the metal shavings out of it, get some standoffs put in place, and then we'll start milling on this piece of aluminum. Now this is pretty much just a typical end mill for my shop. This is a 3/4 inch 2 flute. I do a lot of aluminum, so I typically have these around. And I actually just pulled the DRO off of my Bridgeport not too long ago. It went out. So I'm doing this old school style, doing a step at a time, measuring it, doing a pass, measure it again, make sure that my total is where I need it to be. Should be good to go in the end. Now this is the finished machine part. I did center drill these and I actually drilled them already on this video. This is me just running the tap through them. So I kind of skipped ahead a little bit to save on some video time because this is already getting kind of long. All right, with the bottom shoe finished up, we're gonna go ahead and get the top threaded for its Acme screw. This is a 1/2 inch Acme screw. So this is the final drill size for it, and then we'll go ahead and tap it. Now this is the part I do. I slow these way down as slow as my Bridgeport will go. And I will lower this into the material until it starts slipping slightly in the chuck and I stop. And once that stops, then I'll hand tap it the rest of the way. Now, the reason I do this method is it keeps the tap really nice and straight when you go to start it, especially on these Acme taps. You just go ahead and drive it in there until it slips a little bit and you're good to go. Now on these Acme taps, you do have to go in and then back out and in and back out and in and back out quite a few times before you can just go through the material. They take out a whole bunch of material in one revolution of the tap. And just like any tap, take your time, work it back and forth, get the material out of it, go back for another run, and keep doing that until you're finished up. So with the majority of all the small parts machined, this is a reenactment of me sitting at my computer, staring at Fusion 360, getting ready to send all the other parts to my CNC router. Now this is the router in 10 times speed, I believe, is what I had it set right here. So you can see it just motoring through this really easy. Now this is 1/8 inch aluminum. So this is a standard material I keep in my shop. Now with all the parts machined and cut, fitted, deburred, everything, we can go ahead with final assembly. All right, so here's the finished product. It turned out amazing. Now, what is it for? This is specifically for holding fuel tank baffles. I needed something lightweight that wasn't so cumbersome that it had to be clamped all over just for it to stay in place. Now, this one is specifically designed to go underneath a fixture, and the tank wall comes up to the backside over here and then ends up at the center line for a specific size of tank that I build. Now, that is really what this is for. The nice part about this is that I can unbolt it all the way around, take these pieces off, and use them on a different clamp. If I have something that, like, just maybe a one-off type of deal that maybe I just need a really big clamp for that has depth clear out to here, I can just remake the frame rails for it, and I'll have a new clamp. So that's the really basis of the design for this, is to have twin frame rails that can be unbolted, bolted on something else, and then I can utilize parts I already have. So hope you had fun watching the video. Hope this sparks some other people to think outside the box once in a while to build something you need. Thanks for watching.